Today we are going to get physical. Today we are going to talk about physical products, not just digital products, but physical products, which we don't normally do, and how they drove behavior change. So we'll touch on what drove people to wear seatbelts, how you get people to put on sunscreen, go for a walk, wash your hands, and a lot of these interventions are quite novel, and they have a unifying theory that I'm excited to share. So we'll start with seatbelts. What drove people to wear seatbelts? And guess what? This is kind of the classic story, which is there was a law. Laws do tend to work, or they can be semi-successful. And this is what happened for seatbelts, where, 11% increase. Primary seatbelt law basically means the cop can pull you over for not wearing a seatbelt. And this was compared to a secondary seatbelt law, which is the cop can pull you over for brake lights and they can fine you for seatbelts. And when you compare those, the primary seatbelt law got an 11% increase. And then fines over $30 also worked. These are good numbers, not great. And it's then surprising when we reflect on why do we all wear seatbelts? Do we really care that much about safety? Maybe, or we care about the beep. So the beep is said to have driven a 80% increase in adherence. Why? Because if you keep going in the car and your passengers in the car and it's beeping, they will lean over and punch you probably, right? It's just so annoying. And so that actually is a negative externality in and of itself, is that if I do something, I will bother somebody else. And so what a clever intervention here to have this really immediate effect for a long-term behavior, which is safety. It would be very difficult to imagine us caring about not dying when we're just getting in and going to the grocery store, right? But the beep really gets us to do that. And so we're going to call this type of intervention doing the right thing for the wrong reason. And the right thing, these are interventions where it's safety, finances, health. And the wrong reason is an immediate benefit that motivates me to act on those things today. Okay, so the right thing for the wrong reason. This is a chart. This is a Rational Labs framework. And basically the idea is we want to be, you always in these charts want to be in the upper right. Spoiler alert. In the upper right is the mint on the toothpaste. I want you to think basically, why are we brushing our teeth? It's not because we care about our teeth beauty and our, the dentures we won't have tomorrow. It's because we want better breath. And so that's the kicker here, is that the doing the right thing for the wrong reason is the mint on the toothpaste. It is the thing that's going to motivate us to do a thing today. So I'm going to give you a few more examples here. The one I like the most is basically this idea that I put on sunscreen every day. Every day I put on sunscreen. Wild, huh? Do I really? I care about avoiding skin cancer? Totally. No, of course I don't. I'm putting on makeup, and in makeup is sunscreen. So women really get a lot of skin cancer protection if we're more vain and we put on makeup, right? And so this is a perfect example of getting people to do the right thing for the wrong reason. I do not have to make a decision to put on sunscreen. I just have to make a decision to put on makeup today. Okay, another one. How do you get people to walk more? In one world, you could go to the doctor and they nag you and they say, look, you have to get 10,000 steps, or you have to walk more for your health. Very important for old age. Again, so important to do. And yet people aren't doing it. How would you do it? New York has really given us their skyline, or the New York atmosphere with the High Line. So they built something that motivates people to walk. And these folks who are walking are not walking for exercise. They are walking because they want to see the New York skyline. So again, getting people to do the right thing for the wrong reason. And this may be one of my favorites as well, which is how do you get people to wash their hands? This is not a classic design in the US, so I'll preface this by saying I do have a neighbor that has this toilet, but I've only seen one of these, which is more of a Japanese toilet. So when you pull the hand washing lever, it flushes the toilet. So they're connected. So you likely are going to flush the toilet, and this would actually get the water to come out. So here we go. That is definitely a right for wrong type of thing. And I'll end with this idea of how do you get people to turn off the lights? Well, in one world, we're going to nag them and say, look, it's important for the environment. You should really do this. But in Europe, hotel rooms, what do? They actually don't nag you at all. They just tie it with a key card. And so you don't have to care about the environment to turn your lights off in a European hotel room. What do you have to do? You just have to care about not getting locked out. So in this case, you have to take the key and when to leave the room because you want to come back in and you need the key. And so when you take the key, the lights go off. And this type of pairing, again, doesn't require people care about the environment. It just requires that they care about the immediate thing that they have to get done. That type of reward substitution is helpful, again, in things and behaviors that really are longer term by nature. Again, health, environment, finances, safety, that are really hard for us to prioritize in the moment and need some more immediate benefit to get us to act.